Hey crafters, Leo with Dreaming Tree, and welcome to the assembly video for our frosted fur card. I've got all my pieces cut out here in front of me, as should you. This one's going to go real quick. And from our new line of Christmas cards, this is the one that I foresee people mass producing, again, because it is relatively simple. Okay, so here's our card base. Obviously, I went with the solid score line, just because it looks nicer. And we have this little frame. You'll notice that there's a series of score marks on the card base, but then there's also a series of score marks at the bottom here inside of the frame. So make sure that these are at the bottom. Those are going to help you with the positioning of your tree once we get to that point. Okay, make sure your glue is flowing, and let's get going. Okay, I'm going to just work around the perimeter here. Just going to keep this kind of on my table because it is a little flimsy. We'll do the perimeter, and then we'll get a little bit of glue on our little leaves here. Just a few little dots here and there, especially right at the tip, because that thing's not really connected to anything and we don't want it to tear. Just a few little dots will do. Let's pick this up and just get that nice and aligned with our markers. So as I mentioned, a lot of you love to start on your Christmas cards super early, which is why we put them out in July. And this set, well, this one specifically, and I think the one that I'm going to do next are going to be the ones that you're probably going to make a lot of because they're relatively simple. We have one in the set that's a little more involved. It's not difficult, it's just I would not try to mass produce it. Probably would do one or two of them for special occasion or special people. Now I have a few little leaves here that I did not get enough glue on, so I'm just taking a scrap piece of paper, covering it with a little bit of glue, just tucking it under to get that glue on there so that it doesn't go anywhere. Okay, so there's your little frame. Let's put the inside of the card in here real quick. And we're going to probably come out with some bonus inserts for these early next week. Just to kind of jazz this card up a little bit. Maybe we'll even include some pre-made sentiments so that you can just really just print it out and call it a day. Okay, so that's going to go in there. Nice even border all the way around. Okay, so that's that. And let's take a look at our tree. Now it's a little weird, not weird, but you'll see what I mean here. So you'll notice this is the back layer. This is a silver foil. And you'll notice that the star has like 2 points on it. It's because we kind of created a little bit of an offset. So what we're going to do is the stem of the trunk of the tree, you're going to align that to the left. And then you're going to align this glitter layer with the left top middle point so that the little bit of that silver comes off to the side. Okay, so we do need to flip this over, and I obviously am not going to try to get glue on every single inch of this. I would focus more on the perimeter on the outside and then just kind of hit the inside here and there. And then worst case scenario, which I'm pretty certain we'll have to do, is just go in and maybe paint a little extra glue in some of the parts. I'm just kind of randomly hitting this because trying to focus on this filigree design and get it where, well, trying to cover all of the surface area is going to be, by the time you do, everything's going to be dry. So just hit it with as much as you can. Okay, and again, line it up with that top middle point on the left star, and then just get the trunk aligned on the left side as well, and that's it. And then press that down. You can flip it over so we don't blemish the silver. And we're going to use some foam squares to add some dimension to this. And there it is, beautiful. You hit that with some light so you can see it. All right, let's add our little gold star to the top. I'm going to actually put glue on here so I don't accidentally get it on my foil. Line that up. Nice and centered. And give that a second to dry since we're doing foil on glitter. And then the trunk of the tree is also done in a gold. Get a little bit of glue on that. And that's going to go right on top like so that just that little bit of silver shows through on the right hand side. And I might need to get some fingerprints on there. Pardon my head there. Okay, there we go. And while we're doing this, let's just take these little floral elements. And there's a gold layer and a, what's it called? A gold layer and a glitter layer. I'm gonna pop that right on top of the gold layer. Make sure that you got it lined up correctly. Okay. You could also, when we're all done with this, you can throw a little bit, or actually get yourself some bling, maybe a rhinestone or a pearl. Put it in the center. It'll just make it look nice. And maybe dab that with your finger so it doesn't bleed onto the foil. There we go. So that's that, really. That's pretty much it. And of course we have a caption as well, which we'll get to here in just a second. But here's what we're gonna do. Take our tree, and I'm gonna grab some of the smaller foam squares, and we'll start with the full-size ones. Obviously, one will fit there, and try to find areas on here where you can fit a full foam square. Should be mostly symmetrical. There, you can fit one there. And then what I would do is grab your scissors and just cut these in half. Okay. And we're going to take half of a foam square. You could also, if you're mailing this and you don't want to deal with the bulk, you can obviously glue this down flat. But most of the stuff that I hand out is going to be hand delivered. Usually when I'm going to a family thing, like a family Christmas dinner or whatever it may be. So I don't need to worry about mailing it. Put one there. I think most of the center of it, yeah, because again, we've got a layer of glitter and we've got a layer of foil, which will keep this pretty rigid. So I'm not overly concerned about getting a ton of foam squares on this entire back of this. Because of the material, it is going to, you're not gonna worry about it bending or warping or anything like that. Okay, so you'll notice that there's two little score marks here, and that's for the base of the tree, the trunk. Make sure it's nice and centered. Now these little guys here, you can glue these down flat, or if you want, I'm gonna put some foam squares on these as well. Let's cut just a quarter of one and pop that off. And you can see the little shadow element on the existing frame. Do the same thing with the other one. Oops. There we go, beautiful. Don't forget to put a little rhinestone there. And then we have a caption. We'll probably do some bonus print-to-cut captions for this, but we obviously included a cuttable version of Merry Christmas for those of you that don't want to do print and cut. Okay, so we have this layer that's going to go on top of this solid white layer. Okay, and there's a few little, what look like strange little cutouts, but those are the centers of some of these letters on the caption. So before we before we glue it down, let's make sure that we have the orientation correct, because this is going to get centered right on here. We're going to have a little bit of that gold surrounding the caption, a little gold border. And I'm just going to do a series of dots so that when I do press this down, I don't get it bleeding onto my foil. And even after doing the dots, I'm probably going to just hit it with my finger to thin it out even more to avoid any potential mishaps, especially in the centers of the word. There we go. And just do your best to line that up. I'm looking at the little cutout for the E and the Y. And now I'm looking at the S, the A, and the other S. And there it is, nice and centered. I'm going to flip it over and press. And there we go. Okay, so this, we're also going to foam square. And this one's going to need 2 layers. Where's my big guys? Hopefully these fit. They should, and they do. There's one. Peel that off. Yeah, and that's really it for this card. It's super simple. Get the other foam square on there. You want to just put it on the 2 ends so that it does not obstruct. Now, if you try to put it in the center, it's just going to run into the trunk of the tree, and we don't want that. 2 little markers there to help you with the positioning of the caption as well, to make sure you get that nice and centered. And there it is. Beautiful, simple, elegant, and ready to go. Let's take a look at our envelope, our coordinating envelope to go along with it, which I have here. Okay. Now this little piece is going to go right inside here. Let's open this up so you can see how it folds like that. Okay, what I want you to do is take and apply your glue around these little cutouts. Okay, and then take and apply your glue around just the perimeter of this piece. And we're going to pop that right in the center of the top flap and press it down like that. Now take the 2 sides, bring them in. Apply your glue here along the inside edge of each of the flaps, the side flaps, and close it up. Press and hold. There we go. Close that up, and you can see that we have some little markers there to help you get the little snowflake nice and centered. So let's flip that over and apply our glue. I'm just going to do little dots. There we go. Just like that. And use those little markers to guide you. Pop it in place, and in my case, since it's foil, I'm going to flip it over and press down from the other side. And there's your envelope. Okay. And you can see that it will fit in there nicely. And that is it for our little frosty fur card. All done. Super quick, super simple. And like I said, I think it's going to be one that you definitely will be mass producing this year. So hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please consider hitting that subscribe button. And if you make this or anything from our latest Christmas bundle, I'd love to see it, and so would the rest of our community. So head over to your Facebook, do a search for Dreaming Tree Official. That's where you'll find myself and over 46,000 other dreamers that inspire us daily. So I hope you had a blast. And as always, I look forward to crafting with you again. Hey, thanks for crafting along with me. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, check out some of our other videos, and please consider hitting that subscribe button. Also, don't forget to visit our site and check out our free SVG section, where you'll find over 140 free SVG files complete with assembly tutorials. I'll see you in the craft room.